Cowboys wide receiver Dez Bryant was released on Friday. Bryant's production had slipped. He had not had a 1,000-yard season in the past 3 years. He continues to look for a new team, and in the meantime had this to say about his former team.
The situation was very unfair to me, and I'll put it that way. It was an unfair situation, because if they did want to, get rid of me, they could have told me that. They could have told me that, and I would have respected that, just like I told Jerry in the meeting. I respect his decision.
There's a narrative being floated out there, Des, that some teammates had something to do with this decision. Do you have any evidence to support that at this point?
Well, I'll say this right here. I believe that. Garrett guys, I would say that. I believe that. I truly believe it. I won't put no names out, but they know, and I want them to know. I know. I'll shoot them a text message and let them know. And little do they know is, they can wear that seat all they want to. But in that locker room, they know who they run and they talk to. They know who they communicate with. Everybody know where the real love is at.
Where do you want to go, Des?
Man, I won't say any teams, but being in the division, man, that's a huge possibility. It's a huge possibility. It's something that I want.
Why?
Just because. It's personal. Like I said, it's very personal.
Obviously, it's sad news. That's a brother to me. Put the football stuff behind you. What he meant to me as a person, what he meant to me as a brother. It's tough to see him going, but it shows you, it's a business.
Are you upset at all that you weren't asked about it beforehand or anything, like being the business
yeah, I'm in my second year, you know what I mean? So as much as you wanna say, yeah, I wanna say sorry, whatever, this and that, you know what I'm saying? Those guys get paid a lot more than me. That's what those guys are there to do, and that's not my decision.
Here's the top of the Cowboys receiving corps after the release of Bryant. Terrence Williams now the number one guy, at least as it stands today. He's dealing with a foot injury. Among these four, free agent pickup Allen Hurns is the only one that's ever had a 1,000-yard receiving season. As promised, it is Overreaction Monday, and everything's bigger in Texas, right? I feel like this is perfect for Overreaction Monday. The Cowboys, as you may remember, went 9-7 last season. That's why we chose the number. I'll say this. Cowboys win fewer than 9 games this season. Is that an overreaction?
That's an overreaction. They're going to win more games than 9, and it's because of one person, Ezekiel Elliott. That's the reason why Jerry Jones, it felt like at the end of the season, ultimately gave Jason Garrett a pass on the season. How was he supposed to possibly win without Ezekiel Elliott? Well, now's the chance to prove it. When Elliott's back on the field, I think that certainly he'll have the opportunity to get those wins, and I do think that he ultimately will.
Yeah, preach it. The reality is this team goes through Ezekiel Elliott and Dak Prescott, for that matter. As you're looking at what this team, I don't think this team is as good without Dez Bryant. I think you look at, you still had close to 70 catches, but they'll find a way to find his production. His number was it was a numbers deal, and they wanted to move on and go in a different direction. But if you're looking at, can they still win 9 or more games? Absolutely, it's an overreact. They will win more than 9 games because of Ezekiel Elliott and what he can do to help that defense. His last 7 games, I think he had 5 of those were over 100 yards, and the other 2 were in the 90s. This guy, they are going to feed him the rock and continue to do it. It makes their entire football team better. They'll be a good football team with Zeke back in the lineup.
Damian, is this an overreaction?
Uh-oh.
I feel the dissenting opinion coming.
I'm going to say it's not an overreaction, and I simply base it off of Dak. I don't know if Dak – I had some reservations about the way Dak played last year. And I understand that Zeke wasn't there for 6 games, but, man, I just felt like he took a step back last year.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe the league is catching up to him. Had a great rookie year, fell back last year. Still has a lot to prove to me.
Well, I think it's sort of the litmus test season, no? Because he came out and lit the league on fire his rookie year. And then you have a sophomore slump where he throws, 4 pick sixes, so that can't happen. So now we have season 3. And you got Ezekiel Elliott back and you find out who you are. I think you know a lot more by, let's say, December than you do right
I would,
now.
Yeah, if you told me, and I will agree with you that from a Dak perspective, I think Dak is exactly what I would expect him to be. When you have Ezekiel Elliott in the game, though, it changes his game completely. Even without the receiver and the compliments you're going to get from him, it changes for him because of what Zeke brings to you and out of the backfield. I mean, all the different things that he can do for you as a football team, he is the different dynamic. That's why I think Dak can carry the weight of the team with him in the backfield. He's not a guy you'd want to carry it without right now.
Well, that's what I just want to clarify. So you're saying without Ezekiel Elliott, Dak Prescott's an entirely different quarter. What
Absolutely.
we did.
You saw it. 100%. Yeah. But listen, that's not a judgment on Dak. There's a lot of quarterbacks who would sit in that same category. Without Ezekiel Elliott, there's a reason you brought him with that offensive line to be the crux of your offense.
You seem most comfortable, by the way, with Ezekiel Elliott in the game, and with all due respect to Dez Bryant, who I still think has a big career in front of him. I still think he'll be successful. But Dak never seemed comfortable, almost to the point where he felt like it was forcing the ball too often with Dez. If they can go back to 2 years ago when it was Zeke and Dez actually wasn't in the game that much, I feel like Dak will take that step forward, even though.
Yeah. And you're looking for a different dynamic. Listen, Dez needs a guy who's going to put the ball right on him to give him a chance. That's where you think Dak struggled, right? Yeah. Was with the accurate throws, putting the ball pinpoint, can't always be placed. You're going to have to drive the ball to him. Both of their games just didn't complement each other well.
This is a two-pronged deal for the Dallas Cowboys offense. One, they don't have guys that separate on the outside.
Yeah, that's a fact.
They need to add more speed to their offense. But two, again, to me, in order for the Cowboys to get 9+ wins, Dak to me needs to take another step. Which we'll see.
Yeah. We'll see. We will. And we'll know. I said December, but really by November. It's interesting, though, all of this sort of underscores the Saquon Barkley argument to me. Not for the Cowboys, but for a team out there when you talk about Ezekiel Elliott being a game changer in his impact. And it's draft season, so I can say that. We're going to talk